First thing before any masterclass, ensure you have absolutely everything at hand and your station fully prepared so you're not running around trying to grab products when you begin. First, I'm starting off with Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Cream Light. I like to prep the skin. Charlotte always says that magic cream is magic skin, so start the skincare. I always spend 5 to 10 minutes working this in. This will give you an all over better finish. If you've prepped the skin and you've added the hydration in, it means if you're using a fuller coverage foundation, you're not going to have that drying creasing finish. Following up with Charlotte's Hollywood Flawless Filter, this will add extra hydration and a gorgeous glow, especially if you're creating a bridal look. This is just beautiful underneath a fuller coverage foundation, just adds a bit of extra radiance. Buffing that in with Charlotte's Hollywood brush. This is a dual-ended brush with a smaller end for smaller areas, like if you're going to kind of go around under the eye or around the nose. I like to buff the product right in with this. Is a great brush. It's really tightly packed so it doesn't pick up too much product and helps kind of dispense it, which is really nice. Going in now with Charlotte's Airbrush Flawless Finish Foundation. This is in a shade number 5 Cool. This is a full coverage matte foundation. A little bit of this goes for absolute miles. I have used probably half a pump and I'm just really kind of working it in. You'll see I've used very little, but where I have prepped the skin already with the Hollywood Flawless Filter, that gives you a kind of a glowy base and filters out any pores that you may have underneath or any imperfections, and then you can go in with your foundation just to give you a really nice flawless base. I don't worry too much about little areas of blemishes or anything that you're wanting extra coverage, because we'll go in with concealer and touch that up, just as long as we ensure we have a really nice kind of even coverage with the foundation to give us an overall finish. I'm just using some of Charlotte's Magic Away Concealer. This is absolutely amazing, really stretchy in formula, super creamy, full coverage as well. This will cover a tattoo. It's absolutely amazing for any little imperfections or any discoloration, anything that you're trying to cover. The good thing about this formula is with it being so stretchy, you can pop it under the eye area. It will stretch with the face, so it won't crack or crease throughout the day, so ideal for brides or anyone who's got a big event, which is really nice because it's going to kind of withstand the wear. I'm just buffing it in using a really nice fluffy eyeshadow brush. I always find an eyeshadow brush is the best for applying concealer. It means you can get into all the little small areas, plus it gives you a softer finish as well, and it kind of helps diffuse the product so you're not getting a build up of concealer in one area. So really nice for around the eye area and stuff. Or if you were even covering a blemish, you'll see it kind of taps it on and works it right into the area, which is really nice. Whereas sometimes a larger brush, you kind of struggle to get it in that area. So just working it in again, blending that out, and it gives you almost kind of airbrushed finish, which is really nice. Just going in now with Charlotte Tilbury's contour wands. These are lovely. They're quite liquid, almost gel type in a formula. This is the medium to dark shades. There is a cooler toned one which is light to medium. These are fabulous. I like to kind of dot them around the areas that I would like to enhance and add that kind of depth of contour in. I love to work all my liquid products in first. Once I'm completely happy, then I will set it all later on throughout the tutorial. You will notice this. So what we're doing is I'm just pushing it in rather than blending it with the brush. You'll find that if you kind of blend it out, you're moving the product underneath, you're shifting what you've already laid out, whereas if you kind of push it into the skin like you would with your beauty blender or so on. However, I'm using the Hollywood brush, just sort of work that into the skin. It doesn't take an awful lot, it kind of dissolves really easily into the skin, so they're really nice to use, very easy to use. I know a lot of people do get frightened with how dark they are, however once you've popped them on and used them, they literally just dissolve. I always kind of say if you're using something like this for the first time, you're not entirely sure, to decant some on the back of your hand and then slowly kind of build up the amount that you want to work into the skin. They do kind of dissolve right in though, and you won't notice them on the skin as much once you've worked them in for a couple of times. These contour ones are an absolute ideal base for any powder products that you may be applying later on, so I always follow up with bronzer, things like that. It will add that extra depth and give you a kind of deeper contour, especially along the hollows of the cheeks, or if you're trying to enhance jawline or anywhere that you may want to apply a little bit extra. Plus it helps set it as well once you've completed. Just a little bit under the lip. This just enhances that bottom lip and gives you that extra pouty finish, so I love to pop a little bit of that on, mark that into the skin. We're just going to move on to brows, as Charlotte would say, brows before bows. I'm now using Charlotte's Brow Lift. This is a natural brown. This is a great dual-ended brow product. You'll find there's a little spoolie brush on one side, the other side is your brow pencil, and if you untwist it in the centre there is a little underbrow highlight as well, which is really nice. Nicely hidden as well. We found out quite a while after that that was in there, which is really nice for on the go. This is a great pencil. It's not super heavy with the pigment, so you can work it in really lightly into the brow and build up the colour that you're after. So it means that you're not going to go in and, if you're a bit heavier handed, end up having to spend 10 minutes trying to blend out the product that you've already applied, which is really nice. And you'll see the definition just come in really softly, and it still gives a fluffy finish to the brows rather than a caked, fuller finish. It doesn't block it out as much, which is really nice. When Charlotte does brows, when we train with the pros, we are advised to kind of fill more of the top of the brow as opposed to underneath. The reason for this is if you are trying to make the eyes appear larger, try to give yourself more lid space to work on. You want to kind of bring the volume to the top as opposed to filling in underneath. Sometimes when you fill in underneath the brow, you are taking away the lid space, especially here. Shannon has quite hooded eyes, so to apply too much of the brow product underneath, you are then going to kind of shorten that space you have on the lid, which is already quite limited anyway. So you want to essentially look at your model or your bride or whoever you have in the chair and make sure that you are applying the brow products according to the eye shape. But if you begin from filling in the top, get your shape that you want, like your arches, and then you can fill in any little gaps underneath the bottom, but don't bring it too far down onto the lid. Going in with Charlotte's Eyes to Mesmerise in Rose Gold. This is a gorgeous rose gold base. It's a really nice colour. It gives you a really nice base for the shadows to apply afterwards. I'm going to go in with Charlotte's Pillow Talk eyeshadow palette afterwards, which is a really nice rose gold colour as well, so it complements this lovely. You can use this on its own. You can apply it with your fingers as well, which is really nice. I'm just blending it out with a fluffy brush, and I will apply powdered products on top. This will allow me to add extra depth and define the eye a little bit more. Plus, if it's for bridal, you want it to last longer. I find by following up your liquid products with a powdered product, you will get longer wear, less creasing, and it will last a little bit longer throughout the day, especially for a bride. Especially if you're going to spend all day getting photographed, things like that. With these products, you'll find Charlotte absolutely loves a shimmer to the eye. This is beautiful for a bridal, especially photographs. You'll find the light just catches it gorgeous. She's going to be photographed, there's going to be lighting on her, she's going to be the focal point, so you want to kind of enlarge those eyes, really draw attention to them. Such a pretty colour. So this is the prime colour first, was the first one, and now we're going in with the enhanced shade. This goes into the socket and just defines the shape of the eye. With Charlotte's palettes, you'll find the majority of them only have 4 shades. So you have prime, enhance, smoke and pop. So we're on step number 2, which is enhance. You'll see the difference already, and it really does stick to that Eyes to Mesmerise pop, which is beautiful. Going in with a little smudger brush now with the kind of chocolatey brown shade that's in there, and we're just going to add that to the outer corner and really emphasise that depth on the outside corners. Kind of elongates the eye a little bit, adds that smokiness, but still keeps it really soft and subtle for a bridal. It adds a kind of sultry finish to it, which is really nice, plus it complements the pinky rose gold shades that are in the palette. I'm just packing that on using a tightly packed smudger brush. This just allows me to really work it in. Still adds that bit of depth, and you can bring it up a little bit further if you want and add a bit more definition on the outer corner. It's entirely on how you like to apply it. I'm bringing it along the lash line because I'm going to go in with a dark brown liner later and smoke that out. So by adding that, it gives it a little bit of base for the smokiness of the liner to blend into. Going back in with a fluffy brush, I'm just cleaning up anything that we've applied and really smoking it out so it's soft. The transitions are really nice. Going in with a pop shade now. These are great. I love to just apply these with my finger. You can do it with a brush, however I think you get a better payoff with a finger. These have emollients in them naturally, so they do blend better using your finger. And a little fun fact, when these were first created, the pop shades were actually the most expensive eyeshadow ever to be created. I'm not sure if another brand has beat her out now, but at the time they were the most expensive eyeshadow ever to be created. Just a little dusting now for any fallout. I'm back in with the smoky shade, and we're just going to apply this directly under the eye and smoke it all out, and this is going to tie it all in. As they say, what goes up must come down. This is going to add a bit of balance to the eye as well. Going in with Barbarella Brown, this is the most gorgeous kohl pencil. They glide on super easy, they're super pigmented, very creamy. You don't drag the eye, which is perfect, especially if you're going to use on a more mature client. It means you're not kind of dragging out the eye, which is really nice. Or if someone's got really sensitive eyes, Shannon here has very sensitive eyes, so this is ideal because it means I don't have to work too much with her eye. I'm just tight lining it, bringing it super tight to the lash line. And then I'm using a very small little smudgy eyeliner brush, and we're just going to kind of work this in and blend it. This is going to soften any lines, and it just means that it's super soft, sultry, very bridal, smoky, nothing too harsh, no strong lines. We want to keep everything soft and romantic and really sultry. And again, we're just doing the same on the other side, and we've brought our lines almost straight across, so it's like a kind of elongation of the eye rather than bringing it up. This is going to add the more almond effect to the eye, which is really nice, bringing that right into the inner corner, which we'll sort with the brush once we get Shannon to open her eyes, and we'll bring that right in. Just going in here with Charlotte's Eye Cheat. This is one of my absolute favourite products to use, especially on a bridal look. You'll find if someone has quite deep set eyes, or if they have teary eyes, this is a great product to really brighten the eye. This kind of colour illuminates the eye, makes it look brighter. If it's for bridal, they might be crying throughout the day, so this is going to really open the eye up and make the whites of the eye appear whiter. Going in now with Charlotte's Pillow Talk mascara. This is fabulous, super black, really strong pigment in that, really black, super easy to define the lashes with this, and we just kind of work that right in. I always find for a bride it's quite easy to keep their eyes closed, that way you can get right in and work it up, and you're not going to be blinking and ruining all your lovely work that you've just spent 20 minutes doing. Just going back in with the concealer brush that I used which was the fluffy eyeshadow brush, to clean up the concealer underneath. This will get any fallout or any bits of mascara that may have leaked onto the under eye. Once it's cleaned all up, we're then just going to go back in and add in the extra liner to the inner corners. Just double check the length and symmetry, elongate where we need, just to make sure that everything is symmetrical before we then move on. Now that we're completely happy with the eyes and we've been able to clean up underneath, we are going to finish off the base. I always like to leave the finishing of the base until I'm completely finished with the eyes. This way it means we can kind of see how everything's looking and see what we need to add in. If we're happy with the eyes, we can then go in and finish off with the highlight. This is Charlotte's Spotlight ones. These are beautiful. They add the most gorgeous illumination to the skin. These were my favourite product on counter. They were so easy to use and always just give you that gorgeous radiance. Unlike a powdered highlight, these just melt into the skin, so it just gives you that radiance without looking powdered or dusting. And especially if you're going to be photographed, you don't want to see the product sitting on the skin. Especially with professional cameras, they tend to pick up grains a lot easier, so something like this is ideal. You're not going to have that flashing back. And with all Charlotte's products, they are designed to be photographed, to be filmed, because a lot of her career revolves around red carpet events, lots of photography, magazine work, so you want the products that are going to work on camera. Liquid products are great for that, you're not going to pick them up as much. Going in now, we're just using Charlotte's liquid blushers. These are like the Spotlight wand and the contour wand. They're great. This one's Pillow Talk, and we're just kind of working that in. Again, this is a really nice way of softly building up the blush. I will follow on top of this with the Pillow Talk blush, but this is just a really nice base, and it means it's going to give it something to grip to as well. Just going to go in with Charlotte's Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. This is by far one of my absolute favourite powders ever created. This has rosehip oil in it, so it really does help control that sebum production, helps with the oil. It mattifies, but it doesn't kill the skin, so you'll still get the radiance through. It doesn't have a large amount of talc, so it's not going to mattify the skin either. It's just so beautiful to use. Especially if you want to keep that glow. Going in now with Charlotte's Airbrush Bronzer. This has very much the same ingredients as the powder. It's really, really nice, blends beautifully, very, very finely milled, and just softly blends into the skin. We're just going to work that in where we've applied the liquid contour, and I'm bringing it down Shannon's neck because she does have a lighter rim that wraps around her neck. So with any bride or any model, you want to ensure that you're getting all the little bits behind the ears themselves, working into the neck, just to ensure that for photographs that everything's going to be even. It's always a very important step, and when you see photographs back, it's the first thing you notice where a neck's been missed or around the ears, so this is something you want to kind of ensure that you're working in. Again, just working that into all the points of the face that we had applied the contour wands. This is just going to add that extra definition, help set it, and add that back in. Here we are with Charlotte's Pillow Talk blush. This is something that's really important, especially for Charlotte Tilbury, is a blusher. And I know it went out of fashion quite some time, however I feel, especially for a bridal, blusher is a very important step. You want to add that they're happy, they're glowy, they're fresh faced. You want that colour in there. You don't want a monotone dark and light, you want that gorgeous rosy flush. If you're happy, you're going to have that natural flush, so you want to work it back in. Pillow Talk's a really nice shade for that, so it just adds that gorgeous loved up glow. Now we're going in with Super Size Me by Charlotte Tilbury. I think this is a fabulous colour. It really does do what it says. It super sizes those lips. You can see I'm just working it from Shannon's bottom lip, and I've started on the outer corner and swerved that pencil up. This means that you will get the fuller finish from the lip. A lot of the time people start from the top of the bow and work down. This cuts off half the lip because as you come down you end up cutting off the outer corner. So if you start from the outer corner up, this will give you a fuller lip. This was a tip from the pro artists, and this is the sort of thing that they use backstage, a lot of the things that they use on set. This ensures that you get the largest, plumpest lips. For longer wear, you can fill the lip completely in with the liner. That will ensure that it slowly comes off as you eat and drink. Going in now with Charlotte's Pillow Talk lipstick. This is the medium 2. This is a bit deeper than the original, however I've popped this on because I just feel like it's got a deeper rosy colour and I want to kind of add that extra intensity in. It depends on your bride's choice, however this is the kind of look I wanted to go for. I feel like this added a bit of depth. Just working that right in. And I'm just going to clean up with a little Q-tip. These are super pointed ones, so this really does add to the definition. You can work that right in and clean up any extra edges just to make sure that it's nice and neat. Finishing off the lips with some of Charlotte's Walk of No Shame Collagen Lip Bath. This is gorgeous, really plumps the lips and hydrates them. This would be a preference because when it comes to a bridal, sometimes it's better to use a matte lipstick, especially for drinking and eating. You want that to kind of last longer, whereas sometimes a gloss can kind of lift a bit, so just ensure that your client's happy with a gloss. Finishing off with Charlotte's Airbrush Setting Spray. This is beautiful, helps the makeup stay longer. It really is a gorgeous setting spray, plus adds that extra hydration in, so it's going to keep it nice and hydrated throughout the day as well. Here you have the completed look. This was using mostly Charlotte's Pillow Talk products. Pillow Talk was the most requested look for brides. The rose gold colours just really complement all skin tones, and it just gives a really soft, romantic glow. Thanks for watching.